Bakeries, like all other business types, are not immune from employment-related claims. In this video, we're going to talk about Employment Practice Liability Insurance, or EPLI coverage, and what commercial baking operations should be thinking of in terms of protecting themselves from these expensive types of claims. So, to start off with, what does EPLI, or Employment Practice Liability Insurance, cover? EPLI protects a business and its leadership from lawsuits and claims that allege some wrongdoing when it comes to employment acts. These wrongdoings are often issues such as employment-related discrimination, harassment, wrongful termination, failure to hire, hostile work environment, unpaid wages or shorting of wages, retaliation, and several others. So, what do these types of claims cost bakeries? Recent data is showing that average jury awards for settling an employment-related lawsuit is around $217,000. And that number does not include dollars spent on defense costs, which adds an additional $75,000 to $125,000 to the total costs. Now, these are just averages for suits that go to trial. Many suits are settled out of court for which there are no public records, and others that do go to trial often result in settlements in the millions of dollars. Without EPLI, the owners of a bakery will face these types of claims on their own and pay for lawyers and settlements out of their own pockets, which of course can be dangerously expensive and threaten a business's survival. A question I often get is, does my BOP or general business insurance cover employment-related claims? The answer is many business owners' policy or BOP policies can include EPLI coverage, but typically for very low coverage limits, like $25,000 max, which means you do get some cheap coverage, but it's not realistically sufficient. Also, many of these types of endorsements are not as broad as a standalone EPLI policy. It's a much better idea to purchase a standalone coverage policy for at least $1 million. You may be asking, what does EPLI cost for a bakery? And the cost of EPLI insurance for a bakery is going to depend on several factors. The number of employees you have, where you're geographically located, your claims history, your HR procedures and policies, and the limits of coverage and the retentions that you purchase. To determine the actual cost of a policy for your bakery, we can take the answers to these questions and find the right protection for you from dozens of different top-rated insurance companies. Rather than trying to shop online and wonder if you're getting the right protection at the right price, why not let us do it for you and counsel you on the right policy to purchase? So, what endorsements or add-ons should you consider? There are two big coverage elements that are often overlooked when you shop online for EPLI insurance. The first is something called third-party liability protection, and this protects you and your bakery from employment-related claims like discrimination and harassment from non-employees. These types of claims come from customers, vendors, visitors, and others who may experience harassment or discrimination on your premises or from your employees. The most common form of third-party discrimination for bakeries is when a visitor or customer can't easily access your premises because it's not ADA compliant. Something as simple as stepping up to your front door without a ramp can trigger a claim. The second big add-on is a sublimit for defense costs related to wage and hour claims, which is a very prevalent source of claims over the past few years. Finally, I want to add one important point about employment suits. Often, the owner and the leadership team of a bakery will be named as defendants personally for their acts. This means that your personal assets are at risk and on the line, putting greater emphasis on the need for the right insurance protection. Employment-related litigation trends continue to push upward in both the complexity and volume of cases. There are an increase in costly class action-based claims, especially around issues like discrimination and wage disputes, and settlements can be substantial, reflecting both the growing awareness of employment rights and the readiness of an employee to bring lawsuits. The EEOC and other regulatory bodies are growing more aggressive in pursuing actions as well, and the rapid reshaping of employment trends following the pandemic underscores the need for businesses of all types to stay vigilant and adapt their employment practices to mitigate legal risks while maintaining the proper EPLI insurance. If you'd like to learn more about EPLI protection for your bakery, reach out and let's chat. I promise no high-pressure sales nonsense, just a conversation to see if we may be a good fit for your business insurance needs. My contact info is in the description box below, and I'd love to hear from you. Thanks.